Welcome back, students. Good morning to all. In class 7th, we are discussing unit 2nd, physical and chemical changes. And today we are going to discuss one important thing from this chapter, that is the physical changes and chemical changes involve energy change. Okay, students, please take out your book and stay on video, watch the video carefully. Okay, students, physical and chemical changes involve energy change. We are learning in physics about heat and light. These both are the different forms of energy. In physics, we are learning and we are discussing. A change in energy takes place when a physical or chemical change occurs. When a physical or chemical change happens, a change in energy occurs. Energy is either taken in or given out. Energy can be taken in or give out. By a substance undergoing a change. By undergoing a change, energy can be taken in or given out. By this, we mean that heat or light is either absorbed or emitted by a substance during a physical or chemical change. By this means, we can say that a substance absorbed or emitted heat or light energy when a change happens, when physical or chemical changes happens. A change in which heat is evolved is called exothermic changes. A change in which heat is evolved is called exothermic changes. A change in which heat is absorbed, that is called endothermic changes. So, here are two types of changes. A change in which heat evolved, that is called exothermic change. A change in which heat is absorbed, that is called endothermic change. Clear, students? Now, some examples of energy change in a physical change we are going to discuss. First of all, change in state. Okay, change in state we are going to discuss. Energy changes are observed during a change in state. A solid has to be heated in order to melt. In order to melt, a solid has to be heated. In other words, a solid absorbs heat in order to be melted. For example, ice, sulfur, iron, etc. absorb heat in order to melt. To melt, many substances absorb heat. Substances absorb heat. Similarly, a liquid absorbs heat in order to change into vapor. To change vapor, also liquids absorb heat. On being cooled, gases and vapors form liquids. On being cooled, gases and vapors form liquids. Heat is given out in this process. In condensation process or changing vapors to liquid, heat is given out. In some cases, it absorbs. Here one activity. Boil water in a kettle. Place a bowl of cold water near its spout, as shown in figure. Here you see, heat water in a kettle, and keep a bowl near its spout. Okay, near its spout, one bowl key. Okay, you can see that water vapor coming out of the spout will condense as it becomes in contact with the bowl. As it comes in contact with the bowl, water vapor will condense. After some time, you will find that the water in the bowl has become hot. After some time, we can see that the water in the bowl becomes hot. Okay, hot. On being boiled, water changes into water vapor. The water vapor condenses into drops of hot water, transferring heat to the cold water in the bowl. So, the water in the bowl becomes hot. Okay, students, on being boiled, water changes into water vapor. We know that. The water vapor condenses into drops of hot water, transferring heat to the cold water in the bowl. Heat transfer happens here. That's why the water in the bowl becomes hot. Now, next example is dissolution. Many substances evolve heat, whereas others absorb heat. Many substances evolve heat, others absorb heat while dissolving in a solvent. When you put some glucose on your tongue, your tongue feels cool. What is the reason? While dissolving in the moisture of the tongue, glucose absorbs heat from the tongue, heat from it. While dissolving, heat absorbs from it, from the tongue. So, your tongue feels the cooling effect. Similarly, when you dissolve ammonium chloride in water, the whole solution cools. The whole solution cools down. Again, cooling takes place because ammonium chloride absorbs heat from water while dissolving it. Again, cooling takes place because in case of ammonium chloride, because ammonium chloride absorbs heat from water. On other hand, if you add bathroom acid, means concentrated hydrochloric acid to water, heat is evolved. Thus, the solution of glucose or ammonium chloride in water is an endothermic process, and that of bathroom acid in water an exothermic process. Now, we are going to discuss about examples of energy change in a chemical change. All chemical changes involve chemical energy. All chemical changes involve a change in energy. First of all, burning. We are going to discuss about burning. Here it shows burning matchstick emits heat and light. Diagram. When coal or wood is burned, both heat and light are emitted. So, burning is an exothermic process. This is our familiar example. Okay. Now, we are going to discuss about slaking of lime. Quicklime exothermically reacts with the water. Quicklime, it is a chemical that exothermically reacts with water. The reaction is so highly exothermic that the water added starts boiling. This reaction is highly exothermic that the water added starts boiling. When a very small amount of water is added, the water quickly vaporizes out with a hissing sound. With the hissing sound, the water vaporizes. And the water quickly vaporizes out with a hissing sound. With a larger amount of water, a thick white paste of slaked lime is formed. With a large amount of water, a thick white paste of slaked lime is formed. This process is called slaking of lime. When we add a larger amount of water in it, a thick paste of slaked lime is formed. That process is called a slaking of light. Now we are going to discuss about photosynthesis. Already we have discussed. Photosynthesis in green plants takes place only in the presence of sunlight. Chlorophyll, the green pigment of leaves, absorbs sunlight and helps the plant produce glucose and oxygen from water and carbon dioxide. Here also the energy evolves. Okay. This is your last point from this chapter. Okay, students, today it is a time to wind up the class. So, goodbye and have a nice day.